So if you're a beginner and you need more information about the survivor side of DBD, this video is for you. I'm a beginner myself and I gathered information from multiple sources, including other YouTubers, shorts, and more. Mostly I took from Modzdarva and Jape Hunt, but there are also notes for me. If you have any other tips, advice, recommendations, etc., please comment below to let me know. I would really appreciate that. At the beginning of the match, split up and do different gens so the killer wouldn't be able to interrupt most of you. Most beginners think that doing one gen together with other survivors is much more useful, but in reality it is not. First, because there's not much of a difference with 2 people doing one gen and with 4 people doing one gen. And second, it makes it easier for the killer to interrupt and not let you do the gens. When you are in chase, take the killer away from your gen and other player's gen. But you shouldn't go to the dead zones if you're not planning to get downed. By that, you let the process of leaving this game be much faster. When you are in a death hook, do not try to be altruistic if you do not care about getting out alive. And, if possible, get healed. Of course, if there's somebody who hasn't been hooked or has only one hook compared to others, that one guy should go for the save. Because he obviously wouldn't get killed. Don't drop and save pallets. Some pallets guarantee that the killer will hit you almost instantly after you drop them. Instead of dropping them, take the loop and hold the pallet to buy more time. Do not camp pallets. It most likely creates a 50-50 situation. Instead, you should loop in a safe place. Try to walk sometimes in chases. Sometimes it is better to walk for a short moment in a loop to detect the killer's position instead of losing momentum. And also, it leads most of the time the killer to lose bloodlust. After dropping a pallet, always think about your next window, pallet, or place. Be a bit strategic, I guess. Fake. For example, in a loop, fake vaulting a pallet or fake going forward. Not a lot of survivors use this, relying on Jape Hunt's words, but it is useful. Unpredictable gameplay. For example, we can fake pressing W after vaulting the window and then go back to vault that window again. It is good against good players because, relying on Jape Hunt's words, most beginner killers don't even know what they are doing themselves, so there is a chance that they just won't understand it is an unpredictable game. Always hug things around you in a loop instead of creating distance. For example, here, instead of running like this, I was hugging the wall. It reduces the distance. Meanwhile, while you do like this, the killer has the chance to catch you faster. If you are using a sprint burst, do not walk the whole game to save it. While you will do the gen, it will be available. Uncommon advice, but reduce your anxiety and try to be more attentive. I was myself screaming mentally before when I was in a chase, but in reality you should treat the game more just like a game. Most people function better without anxiety, if not all. Killer specifics. Trapper. When you play against him, be sure that you won't get hooked in the basement because it is kinda his thing. If you see a window in a chase and you don't know if it's trapped, it is better to take the hit and go to the safe place with the haste you get. Trapper has an add-on called Bloody Coil, which basically makes healthy survivors injured when they disarm a trap. When you are in the process of disarming traps, other survivors can get through it without getting injured. So you can use this as a hack. When you are getting saved by a decisive strike, flashlight, etc., you are also immune from the trap for a couple of seconds. The Doctor. When he uses his ability on you while you are about to drop a pallet, you won't be able to. And also when you are in the maximum level of madness, you won't be able to do gens or heal people, but you will be able to unhook survivors and open exit gates. But if you have a safe chance to reduce madness, you should do that. Freddy. You should always wake yourself up instead of letting it be, because Freddy can teleport to any survivors who are asleep. When playing against a pig, you cannot leave through the exit gate if you have a trap on you. In that case, your teammates should leave so you will be able to leave through the hatch. Or you could just try to untrap yourself, but it all depends. The Legend. When you see your other teammates getting hit, and if your heart in the game is not calm, Legend sees you, and the locker won't save you. Go away from your teammates. Never meant fully when Legend is in that state. When Legend hits the same survivor 2 times, it disables his powers, so you could use this trick if you need it, and the same goes for blinding. Blinding Legend disables his ability. The Twins. When the killer uses Victor on you, you should take Victor as far away as possible from Charlotte. When Charlotte is on you, you should not drop Victor from yourself because it will slow you down and give her powers back. When you see Victor AFK somewhere, you can come close to him by crouching so he won't detect you, and that's when you're gonna While playing against an artist, you can free yourself from the burst by going into the locker, but you should not do that in chase because it can have bad consequences. The Dredge. You should be careful of lockers because his ability is to teleport to any locker, so you should close lockers if you see it will make him come out of them a lot slower. If you see, for example, 2 lockers standing in a row, you should not close all of them, because if a killer comes out of one of them, he will break the other. Also, he can place a teleport point. You can make them disappear by running through them. Within the night, and if you're injured, a killer can detect you if you're healing against the locker. And of course, you need to know about some killer perks. I will not list all of them, but some of the important ones. Bamboozle. Whenever a killer vaults a window, it is blocked for survivors for 16 seconds, and the killer also vaults 15% faster. But the good news is, only one window can be blocked at a time. Blood Warden. When the killer hooks a survivor after exit gates are opened, both exit gates will be blocked for 60 seconds. That is why you should never open an exit gate if a survivor is about to get hooked. Barbecue and Chili. When the killer hooks a survivor for 5 seconds, he sees all survivors who are at least 40 meters away from the hooked survivor. Dead Man's Switch. When the killer hooks a survivor, the first time a survivor stops repaying a gen, it is blocked for 35 seconds. Pain Resonance. 4 random hooks are Scourge hooks, and when each survivor is hooked on Scourge hook for the first time, the generator will explode, lose 20% of progress, and start regressing. Territorial Imperative. Whenever a survivor enters the basement while the killer is 24 meters away from it, the killer will see the survivor's aura for the 6 seconds. Shadowborn. Whenever the killer is blinded, he gains 10% haste for 10 seconds. Lightborn. Survivors can't blind the killer. Tinkerer. The first time each generator has 70% progress, the killer gains undetectable for 16 seconds and they are alerted. Corrupt Intervention. The trial starts. 3 the farthest generators from the killer are blocked for 2 minutes. Rancor. Whenever a generator is completed, killer is alerted to the position of all survivors for 3 seconds, and the obsession sees the killer's aura for 5 seconds. When all generators are completed, the obsession gains exposed, and the killer can immediately moor the obsession, no matter if the obsession was hooked or not. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found this video useful. I would really like to see your comment in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe.